All right, let's get ready. What we're going to do today is that we're going to show you guys how to create a transaction form simplicity with the forms that you need in every package. So as you can see here, we're in form simplicity, and these are transactions. I already created a transaction for the class for today. What we're going to do is that I'm going to teach you first where you need to go as the first step. So once you're in form simplicity, you go to blank forms. All right, and then on blank forms, you will go to form packages. Here on form packages, you have all the documents that we're going to need depending on the transaction. So for example, the first one, if you're gonna put a listing for a rental property, these are the documents you're going to need. If you're gonna do a purchase condo, you're representing a buyer for a condo, these are the documents you're going to need. For a home purchase, for a single family home, these are the documents you're going to need. And for a listing sales package, these are the documents you're going to need for a rental package. Everything is already in the forms that you might need. There's documents in there you might not need. So let's see real quick a form from home purchase, right? All of these documents you see here, you might need all these documents. And I say you might need them because if your property was built prior to 1978, you will need a lead-based paint disclosure, right? It was built in 1980, you're not gonna need it. But for sure, you're gonna need an as-is contract, right, to submit your offer. If it's an association, your homeowner association addendums. If it's an FHA addendum, and so on and so forth. On every package, there's going to be two documents that you're always going to need on every single transaction, regardless if it's a rental or a sale or a listing. You're always going to need this document here. It's called Affiliated Business Arrangement Disclosure. And what this document does and what it says is that by law, we have to disclose to any consumer the relationship we have with different entities. So this way, there's no conflict of interest. So here are the documents that we have, here's the companies, that we have a relationship with. Casalina Inc. is a real estate company. Casalina Realty Inc. is another real estate company. FCI International Realty. Casalina Title and Escrow. And Casalina Insurance. All of these are companies that we have a relationship and affiliation. Now the consumer, if you read here, says you are not required in using the above services and or purchase additional products or services from any of the herein or above entities or any other persons or entities. This is simply a document that we disclose to the consumer, so there is no conflict of interest. And we need in every file, once again, we need this document signed by your clients. The other document that we're always going to need in every file is the regulatory compliance fee. This document pretty much explains to them why we charge $349 at closing. It explains to them is a fee that we allow to pass through the consumer. And we need to call it on our CD always commission only fee, okay? It's not a transaction fee, a processing fee is a commission only fee. And this document explains why we charge the $349. You must have this document as well on every single file if it's you representing the seller or you representing the buyer, okay? It needs to be signed by your clients and in the file in order for you to get paid at closing. So we're going to go back to the list. Another document that we also need is the info cover sheet. This document here, I need all the people's information involved in the transaction. The property address, the MLS number, the buyer information, the seller information, the other agent's information, etc. We need that form also in case in the future, if anything happens and you're not here or you're no longer in the office, we are able to contact the people on the transaction. So those are the documents that you always going to need in a file. Those three ones. I said in the beginning two, my apologies, it's three. The information cover sheet, which is this one right here. The affiliated business and conflict, which is this one right here. And your regulatory compliance fee. Always, these three documents have to be on your files, all right? So I'm gonna go back to form packages. Once again, here are the packages that you're gonna use depending on the type of transaction that you're gonna do. And I'm gonna just go to transactions. I already created a file for us today that we're going to use. And I'm gonna teach you right now how to create, once you select the package, how to submit your contracts, how to make them auto-populate, okay? And how to create your transactions. So once you are here, we ask you to complete as much as you can on this page. You can either also put a picture of the property if you want to, right? You need a full address here, all right? You need what type of property is it, residential? If it's a purchase, a listing, a lease, whatever that might be. You put the MLS number here, and if you put the MLS number here, it's gonna help you so much in the process. It's gonna save you a lot of time. The listing price and the purchase price. Also, as you're in the process, we need for you to always put if it's active, new, is it once you're in contract, if it's pending, right? So you can update your files. Once you close on your file and you get paid, this has to go into a closed transaction. This is gonna help us work easier, and it's gonna help you as well be able to look into your documents and files. So I already added a MLS number here, okay? And I'm gonna show you how important this is. If you click here and show more data, you can see that no address is included here. I'm gonna remove this here, okay? No address is located here on the property, all right? But what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna import the data with the MLS number. So let's see if this works. And there you go. The system got the MLS number and pulled the property data. So now all this information is going to be in every document that you use on Form Simplicity versus you having to type the address every time you write a document, right? So you hit select, and here's all the information. You know, the realty companies, the property address, the listing price, everything is here. So you're gonna save the information. And now this information is gonna be, like I said, auto-populated on your system. Look what it did. It even put the property picture here for us, right? So once you've done that, we still suggest you go back here and complete this information. So if you put in the offer today, you have the contract today, and it's effective day, you put it here. What is your closing date? Well, next month, you put it there. Every time you add information here, you must save the data. If you don't save it, it will not be saved, obviously. So once again, we have all the documents that you might need in this transaction, right? All right, and the documents that you need on every file, right, that we just spoke a minute ago. But also what you need to do to make your life easier is that you need to add this information here. So add seller, you're gonna add the seller here, all right? We're gonna call the seller John Doe, okay? And here you need to type the property address, okay? Let me leave all caps. All right. And if you're not representing the seller, it's normal that you're going to have his email address and phone numbers. But you save the seller information because what's going to happen is that this name will be included in every document that you use. Okay, so save the seller information. Here you already have your agency information. Your information should be here already, right? But now let's add a buyer. This also applies when you're doing a tenant. You see buyer tenant, all right? So let's add a buyer. I'm gonna call the buyer Marie Garcia, all right? So now I need you also to put their address, right? And their email address here. Right? And their phone numbers here as well. So what's going to happen is this information is going to be transferred into the contract as well. And whenever you need to send a document through Form Simplicity for e-sign, okay, it will send it to this email address here. So you don't have to input information every time. So let's say you have an addendum for a new agreement, right? You don't have to enter the address. You don't have to enter the seller's information. You don't have to enter the buyer's information. Everything is going to be in the system for you, and it'll be auto-populated for you. Now, if you guys don't have the e-sign from Form Simplicity, I suggest you do it. You buy it. It's $60, so $65 a year. It is worth having. It's going to be the cheapest thing you're going to buy for document signing, signatures. All right. So let's see now. Let's just open up real quick a contract and see how the contract looks. As you can see now, all the information of the contract is there. The seller's information, the buyer's information, the property address, the legal description, the tax ID number, everything is already auto-populated. And it's going to be the same thing with every other document that you do, okay? So you don't have to enter that information again. All right, something else that I want to show you here that you can do on the contract is that we have prepared already for you the specific clauses that you might need, right? So if you're here in the contract and you come here, we have this in every contract. We want you to put this in every contract. If you don't have it, and our system is already there, okay? But also let's assume that you have a property that you buy that has a septic tank, right? You can insert that clause here, right? Or let's assume that your property that you're buying, right? You're asking for the buyer to provide you DU approval. You can insert that clause here, all right? You can change 3 days, 5 days, whatever you want, right? And all these clauses you have in here, well water, license, seller, buyer agent, items to be removed, personal interest, DU, closing agent, appraisal, lien search clause, seller contribution, all of them are here. And you are more than welcome also to let us know of any special clauses you'd like to be inserted there, and we'll do that for you as well. So pretty much what we want to show you today is how to prepare your documents in a much efficient manner versus you having to spend a lot of more time preparing documentation. And also how it's important for us in the office that we have all the information of the clients in here as well, right? Because this is going to help you and it's going to help us down the road if anything happens, if there's an audit, if we need to go back and look for documents. Everything is going to be in this document and these forms, all right? So I'm going to pretty much pause our video, end it right now. Always feel free to give us a call and let us know in which way we can assist you and make this easier for you. And we're looking forward for any questions or any issues that you might have. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for your time. May you have a great day and God bless you.